So, like most modern TV shows, the Halo series is no different. This show is this is fucking gold. This show is what crap, what all shit Hollywood films or shows will be measured against in the future. I don't care what anybody says. And it's so funny because I was I've been watching a lot of not the usual YouTubers and creators that I typically watch. I still watch them. Obviously, I have my go tos that I like to, the people who put out like solid content. Critical Drinker and Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, all of these, all of the channels that I've been watching for years now. I still watch those, but I've really been trying to watch other just off the beaten path type of creators, people who don't have a whole lot of subscribers, who are probably rocking, like maybe 10,000 subs or whatever, and they're not getting near the traction. Because I want to give, when I find a channel that I like, I want to give them a sub. Like I hope people, because I don't have that many subs, and that's fine. I'm just saying, like, so if I grab people that have never seen anything that I've done before, seen the channel, that's good. I want to welcome anybody who comes to this channel, and I don't want to just focus in on all the big channels, and I want to watch the smaller channels and give them views and give them their props, because there's some really good content creators out there. However, there are some that I've been seeing lately that are fucking cheering this show on, and I think it's fucking funny. I just the things that I'm hearing the defenders for this show say, who claim to be Halo fans or Xbox fans, the things that they're saying, it just shit just cracks me up. But so the last episode 8, episode 9, I don't even remember. I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. So Master Chief, and I think that's the last time I'm going to call him Master Chief. This is John. His name is John. Okay. So John gets laid. Okay, for the first time in all these years, John hooks up, so he's no longer a virgin. Good for you. So he looks like a 45-year-old virgin. So the what is she called? Her name's Mackie, but she's like a supposed, she works for the Covenant, the alien race that the humans are fighting, this great galactic war. So she gets she sneaks, or not, shouldn't sneak. She infiltrates the UNSC, and the whole premise behind that I thought was fucking stupid. But they took her, a person who they believe initially and had every reason to believe that she is a spy. They take her to their home base, you know, and they keep her in some quarters and everything, but they're treating her just fine, and the interrogation has been non-existent. But I'm sorry, see, I just did it. John is, all of a sudden, he's interested in her because of their connection. He's connected to this artifact. She's connected into another way. She can tell, like they can tell something about each other or whatever. It's so fucking stupid because in one episode, John doesn't trust her, is very sketchy, or I'm sorry, skeptical of her, and you know, she's weird. Like the character Mackie, she's a fucking weird one, anyways. Fucking Hillary Jr. And I say that because she looks like a young Hillary Clinton, short hair and all. But she is they so in literally one episode they got to know each other, and he went from not trusting her and being kind of a dick to taking her on a walk through the park and holding hands, and it's like a whole fucking love story, and it's so bad, it's so cringe. There is no basis for this to even be a thing. The show had rushed this love scenario just to get Master Chief some booty, essentially. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, he John is a soldier first, and he is a And to me personally, I think that Master Chief in the video games is kind of, and I'm not gonna, I'm this isn't me shit talking it. To me, he's kind of a generic hero, but he is still a really well done hero. Like he is the prototypical Billy Badass of space, whipping Covenant's asses, and because he is a superhuman construction. He is not a normal human. He's massive. He's supposed to be way bigger than he is in the show, but he's massive. He's strong. He's got tons of military training, and he wears a fucking badass suit that provides him additional armor, and he is just awesome in all the ways that you want your superhero type characters to be. And this show, they just wanted to take this character and they made Master Chief into John, and so now John is a totally different character. And they are going out of their way to show that the Spartans are evil. And like I said it before, they talk about some of the Spartans. They're called Silver Team, I think. His John's team, I think they're called Silver Team, and they are discussing their training with a doctor named Miranda Keys, and they're talking about things like it was fucking weird. It was they talk about murdering their pets, and that was part of their training, and it just was fucking weird. And they've intimated with other lines about how they're mindless zombies, essentially. Like they're almost like they're just robots. Like they're not even human. Like they're synthetics, and they have no empathy, or they have no sympathy. They have no human emotion whatsoever. And now they do have this sort of emotional blocking chip that shuts down the emotion, but it's not so that they're evil. It's not to make them evil. It's so that they're a little more, well, I'd say more obedient, and they don't feel fear. Like that's the biggest reason. Like they don't want them to fear anything, and they don't. Like in the games, Master Chief fears nothing. He has a target, he locks on, he just goes. But he's not he doesn't like kill children and, kill animals, willy-nilly. He's not some fucking mass murdering person or soldier. And that's what the show really is trying. And they did it again in this episode, where you see John in the park with Mackie, and they're walking and talking, and, John's trying to like say things on the sly to her so that the soldiers that are watching them can't hear. And the main boss lady, she says something along the lines of the original, or the Master Chief we know would have ripped her arms off by now with his bare hands. It's like another line to tell us just how brutal and evil John is. And it's so stupid. It's so forced. The dialogue's trash. The only thing that I thought was good in this particular episode was there's a fight scene between John and Silver Team. Now, I've listened to some other reviewers and some other, definitely like more core Halo fans who have played all the games and know all the lore and all that stuff. This to them, to the core fans, is like a big no-no, because Silver Team and John are super tight and they would never fight each other like this. I don't know that, and I didn't know that going into it, so it didn't really rub me the wrong way, but I totally get it if it does. The fight scene though, I thought was cool. Like it was like watching little toy action figures banging into each other. There was some pretty cool choreography, and it wasn't great by any means, but it was kind of cool. It was kind of like the in a show that's flatlined, it is a low light, which by design makes it a highlight, but it's really not. It really isn't, because this show is so bad, like funnily bad. I'm having fun with it. Like I said, I enjoy watching the show because it's so much fun. But that part was okay. Master Chief hooking up with Mackie, it was really cringy. It was a long, like Skinamax type scene, but it's all slow, and they're rubbing each other's scars, and she's got her back to him, and he's behind her kissing her on the neck, and So fucking lame. It was so long too. Like the scene itself, I was like, okay, we get it. They're hooking up. And then on top of that, Cortana they show Cortana while they're banging. She is watching them. It was so creepy. It was like this. She's like an AI voyeur, you know, like she's a peeper, and and legit the way that she was watching the little animated. She looks weird too. I think the Cortana in this show, she just looks fucking weird. I swear I thought they were going to have her bite her lip. Like she was going to be attracted or turned on by it. I swear I was like waiting for it. And I was waiting to laugh, but it didn't happen. But she's watching them with like sort of curious eyes. So fucking stupid. But, yeah, I think that scene was overdone, stupid. Whole part of it I didn't like. But after that, Mackie, who she has this like implant for her fingernail, and it's like a little lightsaber fingernail. And right after sex, Master Chief or John is asleep. And Mackie goes over to the sink, which is like 12 feet away from the bed, no door, no nothing. And she, she's in love with John now. And so she rips it out, like rips her fingernail off. And she's making sound. It's not like it's quiet. John doesn't wake up. He's snoozing. And so it was like she changes from, and like when she infiltrated the humans, or her, went back to the humans from for the Covenant, she was going in to find the artifact so that the Covenant could win and they can reach the Halo and, blah, blah, blah. And then in like 2 episodes, well, actually just 1 episode, because that was, and in the show, in the timeline, it's been like 12 hours. Not even, I don't know, maybe 24 hours. She went from, she's all for the Covenant, to meeting John, and she's in love with John, and then she hooks up with John. Now she's against the Covenant, and she's going to work with John and work with the humans. And then after they hook up, and then some stuff happens, like the fight between Silver Team and John, it's all predicated on the fact that Halsey's trying to intervene from afar, and she's having Silver Team take John into custody, take Mackie into custody, and the artifact, and she wants to escape because she's lost all of her privileges and all of her rights to working with the UNSC. So, and she's been monitoring them, which I don't understand. It's so, that part I don't even want to get into. It's just so dumb. How could she have access to this? Why aren't they watching her? Like, she's the head scientist. She has been the number one go-to scientist for the UNSC for what they have laid out for a long time, what the show has told us. And then, they know what type of person she is, and all of a sudden they lock her away in her room or in her apartment or whatever, and then she has her right-hand buddy right there to do all the technical work. They know, the UNSC knows about Cortana, but yet she's not under lock and key. No one's watching her, so all the strings that she's pulling in this, in the background to achieve her goal should not have fucking happened. It's so stupid. But anyways, when Silver Team goes to grab John and Mackie, Cortana intervenes. She has John's back and warns him of the trap, and then Mackie runs back to the artifact, and she's trying to get people to listen to her, and it's like, why is she roaming free? Like, she's a prisoner. Like, she is not just, it's so dumb. Ugh. Anyways, I'm gonna go on another fucking tangent. She should not have free reign to just roam around the base. Anyways, she gets all the way to the actual fucking artifact. Like, she gets there, the artifact is in the secure room, and she gets all the way to it without a single fucking person stopping her. Not one person. But anyways, so they don't trust her, and then this one Marine that's been calling her names for the last 24 hours, and she's been in custody or whatever. He shocks her, and then she flashes back to her childhood, and then all of a sudden now she's anti-human again, and now she's all for the Covenant, and then she grabs the artifact, and then John and her meet, they mind meld onto the Halo again, and she leaves him. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. So Oh, there's one thing I did put this note down here. I thought it was fucking funny because John doesn't wear his gear. He doesn't wear. I don't think he doesn't wear his suit at all. His armor at all. This entire episode, he's fucking naked most of the time. And we see Kai, who is the other Spartan who pulled out her emotion and her motion suppression chip or whatever the hell it is. That that character, we see her like they do this like kind of a decent little fun uh, few scenes where they show her showing off her strength, which wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. It was kind of funny actually. But she doesn't have. She takes off her fucking helmet. So she starts questioning the other two members of Silver Team, like, why are we going after John? Should we, he's our head guy. Why are we doing this? And she takes her fucking helmet off. And I fucking loved the fact that she took her helmet off. And as soon as she took it off, they're walking. Like, the other two Spartans and her are walking, and she's walking behind them. She pulls her helmet off and starts talking. And they just, I can't remember. One of them turns around and just pops her right in the fucking mouth, knocks her ass out cold. Shit was funny right there. Wear your fucking helmet, Spartans. Always wear your helmets. Oh god, so funny. But this show, man, it's a gem. It's a gem of a turd. But yeah, so I'm still watching it, and I'm gonna continue watching it. I gotta see it through. I'm having fun with it. I can't. I have this feeling that John's gonna be a daddy. That's this show is like a fucking soap opera, and a really, really, really bad one. So my prediction is that John will have a daughter. That's where I'm going. That's where I think this is where they're going to go with this. John will have a daughter, and Mackie is going to raise her, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's my prediction. Okay, that was kind of the end. Yes, was it? Yeah, yeah. And that's funny. There are people who are plotting the show. By the way, I listened to a few different channels talk about this show, and they're like, the show isn't supposed to be like the games. I don't know why Halo fans are stressing. I don't know why people are stressing it. Just turn off your brain and enjoy it. It's supposed to be this way, and they know you knew this was going to happen. So why are you acting like this? And it's like, well, that doesn't mean it doesn't suck. The show sucks on all levels, not just the fact that they're shitting on the lore. It sucks on every sort of writing, you know, writing, characterizations, character in general, storyline, everything. Everything is trash. Everything. So, but I guess if you turn off your brain, you can enjoy it. So try that. Try turning your brain off and then go and watch Halo, and maybe you'll love it. I don't know.